127. Your transcribed 127.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartika Manyan Asmadgurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Kaha asau anatma. That was the question, one of the questions among the 7 questions that was raised by the student. Having explained what is anatma in detail, including all the koshas were explained, and afterwards, what is Atman, that is being spoken from 124 onward. In that, he said, Atate samprabhakshyami swarupam paramatmanaha yad vijnaya naro bandhat muktaha kaivalyam ashnute. I'll tell you about Atman, having known which a person can become freed from the bondage and obtains kaivalyam moksha. It cannot be explained as a pratyaksha rupena tasmat. He says, asti kaschit swayam nityam aham pratyaya lambanaha. That which is there, which by itself is eternal, and which is being the support for aham vritti, the one which we constantly experience as me. Avastatraya sakshi san, being the witness of 3 states of experiences. Panchakosha vilakshanaha, also different from the panchakoshas. In other words, that Atman, knowing which one can become free, is one which is not anything that we conclude and know as ourselves. Today I was talking to one family, and then the small girl, she's only in 6th grade. she had come up with her own philosophical thoughts. Interesting. And one of the things she said, if you stay in the airport, you will not be able to go to catch the flight.
Very profound.
Very profound, at the same time, very cute also. I said, explain this to me. He said, if you keep staying in the airport, what purpose you came to the airport? To take off and go away, right? You keep staying there. If you keep staying in the airport, you will lose the flight. I said, that is very profound in the sense. I said, what thought that you have got behind that? He says, if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll never be free. Okay, that's interesting. So it is true. Bandhat moksha, from the release from the bondage can happen only when we step outside what we are already. Interesting. And 126 also, I think we saw, Yo vijanadi sakalam jagras swapna sushuptishu buddhi tat vritti sadbhavam abhavam aham iti ayam. That which is vijanati knows, jagras swapna sushuptishu buddhi. And buddhi tat bhavam jagras swapna avasthayam abhavam sushupto. In the state of sushupti, abhavam abhijanati saha, buddhehe abhavam abhijanati saha, buddhehe sthanam abhijanati saha, tasmat buddhehe vilakshanaha. It knows the existence of buddhi in the time of waking and dream, and it also knows the absence of it in, absence means, as we saw in the previous session, absence means it's not fully functioning. And that not functioning buddhi also is known, and that is aham iti ayam. That which is now we know as aham. Why it is said so? That I have explained in the same, and during the sleep. No experiencer, no experience is possible without something which is recording the experience. So therefore it is said, Sukshma Rupena, Bija Rupena, Asti Eva. Oh, back. Asti Rupena, Sukshma Rupena, Asti Eva. Sukshma Rupena, Bija Rupena, Asti Eva, Buddhihi, Sushuptau. Continuing, so here, Yapashadi, Yau Janadi Sarvam. Sushupto Ajnanam cha ahamaham idam janami ajnasisham Nyasyami iti anubhavat. Because even I don't know anything is also an experience. That is also in the state of sleep takes place. I am Atma iti anvayaha. I am is Atma. So next continuing that, he says in 127 here, Yapashyati swayam sarvam Yam na pashyati kinchana Yaschetayati buddhyadi Natatyam chetayatyayam Yapashyati swayam sarvam Yam na pashyati kinchana Yaschetayati buddhyadi Natatyam chetayatyayam Sarvam swayam yaha pashyati. Sarvam pashyati. He who sees everything, yam kinchana na pashyati. That which is not known to anyone. Somebody asked this question. I don't believe in God. So, to a Mahatma, yeah, I don't know. I don't believe because I don't see him. So, therefore, it doesn't exist. So, he said, then in the COVID times, did you see COVID? Yeah? Why are you wearing the mask? Did you see it? No. Then, but I can feel it. The same way, Mahatmas, what they see, we don't see. Because they see because the fact that that which sees everything cannot be seen, though because the very fact that it can see everything, it is there. Because it is of the nature of constant Sakshi, and because of which alone others are even known, but that cannot be known. As much as I see everything with my eyes, but I never seen my eyes. Can you deny it? Aankh nahi hai. I don't have eyes. Then how do you see? Even though I've never seen my eyes, I know it is there. Have you seen your ears? Directly. You never hear? I do hear. Then I have not seen it. So therefore, yamna pashyati kinchan. No one sees this. And at the same time, buddhyadi yaha chetayati. It is that which illumines, gives life to buddhi adi, meaning all things. Manaha, buddhya, ahankara, chittam, and karmendriyani, jnanendriyani, pranas, all of them, prananapi, chetayati, gives life. Tad yam na chetayati. Ayam na chetayati. That no one can or no one is capable of giving life to this. And that is what it is. Ayam. This means what? This Atman. Na anyatosti drashta idi shrutehe yam na pashyati kinchana na tatra chakshur gacchadi navag gacchadi no manah na chakshusha grihyate napi vacha nanyehi devaihi naiva vacha na manasa praptam shakyo na chakshusha ityadi shrutibhyah. These are all coming from various kinds of various Upanishads. In all of them it is said, but that which cannot be known, but that which, because of which everything is known. Na chakshusha pashyati. By eyes you cannot see it. Yena chakshumshi pashyati. Because of which eyes can see. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na va gacchati, na manaha. And na chakshusha grihyate. By eyes it cannot be known. Na vacha grihyate. Not by the speech it cannot be. Na anya devaihi, anyehi devaihi, naiva vacha na manasa praptum shakyah. So, yat yaha buddhyadi jadam chetayati, swapradi balanena chetanatva karoti, chetanavat karoti. By his own proximity, swapradi balatvena, Pradipalanena, by its own pradipala strength, it makes everything chetavat, as though they are alive. Like if my hand is there, it is capable of moving here and there, but the moment I cut off, then what happens? It's nothing but inert flesh, blood, bones, and matter. Why? So long as it's in touch with life, it has life. It can do things. The moment it is cut off. Right? So this very life itself, which science says as the beating of the heart. But why the heart should beat? And why should it stop? When you said somebody is dead, is it dead because of which the heart has stopped, or is it stopped, therefore the person is dead? Even when you artificially make the heart pump, let us say a person is dead. Suddenly, immediately what you do, you just make sure that the heart is beating. Person is dead. Even if you make the heart beat, you will not come alive. Once that Chetanatva is gone, which we do not know what is departed, with the body that is present there, even if it is there, and you try to make the heart function with external aids, that one will not become alive. If he has not quit Then you can make the heart come back again and then make sure that the body is still. But once departure has taken place, Chetanatva is gone. So, tat buddhyadi yam na chetayadi swadaha chetanatvat. Why the others cannot create the illumination of life into that? Because swadaha chetanatvat. It is by itself of the nature of enlivening. Jadam hi swakaryartam chetanam apekshate. Only a jada, an inert thing, requires something else to make it alive. Here, alive does not mean it has to be a physical thing that has to grow and express its name. Even objects which are generally inert are known because of the Atma Jyoti. We saw it in the Dakshinamurti Sutram also. It is because of that nature of illumination. Na chetanasya para akanksha. That which is by nature is of the consciousness. There is no need for anything external. Ayam Atma iti anmayaha. So this is what the Guru is pointing out as the nature of Atman. Because the question was raised. What is the question? Kosavanatma ka paramakha Atma. What is that Atma? That is what is questioned. So continuing here, Yena Vishwamidam Vyaptam Yamna Vyapnoti Kinchana Abharupamidam Sarvam Yambhantam Manubhatyayam Yena Vishwamidam Vyaptam Yamna Vyapnoti Kinchana Abharupamidam Sarvam Yambhantam Manubhatyayam. Yena Idam Vishwam Vyaptam. By whom or by which entire world is pervaded. Yam na Vyapnoti Kinchana. But that which cannot be enveloped by anything else. Space, for example, is everywhere. But what is that which occupies even space, or what is spreading because of which space is included? Definitely anything that is accommodated in space is able to pervade space. Right? Space pervades everything. Nothing which is within the space can pervade space. Can occupy complete space. No. That which is subtler than the space, because of which space is able to exist, that cannot be pervaded by anything else. Gurudev used to say, Vyapakatva, space pervasiveness, is because of Sukshmatva. Subtlety is the cause for pervasiveness. For example, if I have a cube, ice cube, it is staying here in one place, in one part of the table. So it is gross, solid, sitting there. When I apply some heat to that, it becomes water. Same thing only, H2O only. Now it starts to pervade. Entire table it can occupy by melting itself, correct? But only on the table, not above that. When further I heat, it becomes vapor. Then, where does it spread? It spreads much more. Why? From the gross ice cube, it became a subtle liquid. From subtle liquid, it became further subtle vapor. So the more subtle a thing, greater its pervasiveness. If you can understand its example, which Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also puts it beautifully. Now you see, My eyes cannot go beyond certain limits. I can see to some extent, I cannot go beyond that. So also ears, nose, tongue, skin, etc. Skin also, and something comes and touches only, I can feel it. Eyes can go a little farther than that. Now my mind is faster than that. I can see things which I have never seen also. Right? Mind can travel much more than what senses can travel. Why? Subtle. Buddhi can do more. Buddhi can think of things which is never thought of. So that is, Buddhi is more subtle than that. Subtler than even a Buddhi or any Antakarana is Atman, which can pervade much better, much greater, much wider. So it is said in our Upanishad that Tasmatva etasmad akasha sambodha. Even the akasha, which is all pervading, is also coming from that only. So imagine how subtle that is and how pervasive that is. That's why it is said, Yam yena vishramidam vyaptam, by which the entire world is included. A world includes space, fire, air, earth, water. Yam kinchana na vyapnodi. Nothing else can pervade this. Because all others are, compared to that, are gross. A grossest one, obviously, is the most limited pervasiveness. So, idam sarvam yam abharupam. Everything here, abha means bha. What is it? Okay, abha. Yeah, it's mistake in CCMT publication. There is a mistake here. Bha, bhasate means to shine. Abharupam idam sarvam. Na bharupam idam sarvam. Meaning, ajadaswarupam sarvam, na bharupam. None of these, which are called inert, including space, is of the nature of self-elimination. So, yam bhantam anubhati, because of whose brilliance everything else shines. Morning in the other class also I was explaining about Vedanta Upanishad, where this Yajnavalkya is making this point. He said, how do you see things? By objects, because sunlight is what makes my eyes able to see things. In the absence of sun, it is a moon. In the absence of the moon, it is lamp. And then he goes to the next one. He says, in the absence of the sun, moon, and the lamp, or any light, source of light, he says speech. Interesting. Because nowadays technology has come where a blind person can also easily able to go walk, because he sends out the sound and the reflection comes, it tells you the what distance. It bounces back, and then he will know how much distance is there nearest object. So with the sound, one can still understand the space. Objects are there, I know, but you cannot see the objects, but I know there are objects. So the awareness of the objects, not only by the eyes, because of which the light, but also by the speech. In the absence of the speech also, how do you know about yourself? He says, Swayam Jyoti Atma. Atma is of the nature of self-elimination. In the darkest place also, you know you. You cannot say, no light, I exist or not, I don't know. Your existence, your awareness about your own existence cannot be doubted, even in the absence of no light, in the absence of light, in the absence of everything else. Why? Swayam Chetana Rupatva. So this Atma Jyoti, when it is present, everything is able to be known. Therefore, Yambantam, due to whose light, Anubadi Sarvam. Abharupam idam sarvam. All which are Abharupam idam sarvam. All those things which do not have their own ability to become aware are made aware because of whose presence. So, Kinchana kimabi vastu yam atmanam na vyapnoti asya sarvasya bahyatvat vishtabhyaham idam krishnam ekamshena stito jagat. It is said by Bhagavan Krishna also. Ekamshena vishtabhya aham idam sarvam. Krishna. By one aspect of me alone, I completely pervade the entire creation. Krishna says that an aspect of it means what? Bharupam eva. The awareness which I am, by that alone, the entire world is covered. Ekamshena stito jagat. So, pado osya sarva bhutani tripadasya devi. This is said in Purusha Suktam. Sarva padaha asya bhutani. It's only one pada, one part of him is this world. So in this way, abharupam aprakasha rupam jadam ityartaha idam sarvam chit rupam yam bhantam anubadi tameva bhantam anubadi sarvam iti shrutehe ayamatma iti anvayah atra satyam jnanam anantam brahmedi ityuktam anantyam desha paricheda shunyatvat kadanena katitam bautyam. By saying it pervades everything, it is unlimited in space. That's what it actually means. It is not conditioned in space. Desha paricheda shunyatva kadanam. So that is to say that the previous verse talked about no one knows it. Here, nothing can pervade it, but because of which everything is pervaded. So when you say pervading and because of which everything became chetanam, or so that means you're doing a lot of work. So the Paramatma has a lot of work to do. What? To illumine everything, to make everything alive, to make everything function. So the next verse says, ऐसा नहीं है. क्यों? यस्य सन्निधि मात्रेण देहेन्द्रियमनोदियः विषयेषु स्वकीयेषु वर्तन्ते प्रेरिता इव यस्य सन्निधि मात्रेण देहेन्द्रियमनोदियः विषयेषु स्वकीयेषु वर्तन्ते प्रेरिता इव. Sannidhi matrena. Sannidhyam meaning presence. In whose presence alone, by that alone, yasya sannidhi matrena, deha, indra, mana, diyaha, swakiyeshu vishayeshu vartante. They all engage in their own field of activities. See, current, because of his presence alone, light can illumine, fan can move, motor can run. You cannot say electricity is running the motor, or the electricity is shedding the light, or electricity is moving the fan. No. Sannidhi matra, which presence. In the latest example, that's how it is to be taken. But of course, the example being limited, we have to take it with a pinch of salt. Here, just the presence will be sufficient. Sannidhi matrena. Swakiyeshu vishayeshu vartante. They engage in their own field of activities. Prerita iva, as though being impelled, pushed to do it. Say, it is said, in the Upanishad it is said, Bhishasmat vadappavade bhishadudedi suryaha bhishad agnischa indrascha mrityuhudavadi. By whose fear Vata pavate, the wind blows. Vishasmat vata pavate. Because of whose fear the sun rises. Because of whose fear the fire burns. Because whose fear Yama runs to complete his job. So in the religious parlance, it is portrayed as Ishvara is of a tyrant like, standing there. Come on, do your job. So that is how it has been dramatized. As though Bhagavan is pushing them to do things. But when it comes to philosophy, we must understand all of them do their work, assigned thing in his presence, not that he makes them do it. It is like sunlight when it comes, all the birds fly away from their nests, all the animals start looking for their food, and the plant starts to grow, flowers come out, and the fruits come out, and people get up, and okay, sun is doing the job. Is it sun is doing anything? It is just rising up and expressing itself. The bright light and heat of the sun, when it comes up in the horizon, everybody starts the work. Is it he trying? He is doing everything for you. He's pushing you to do? No. In the same way, presence of consciousness alone is sufficient for all of them to derive their chetanatvam from the consciousness and continue their work. And the function of all the senses, mind, intellect, etc., or any one of the other things, what they do is nothing to do with Atman. Otherwise, you say, it is because of Atman only I am doing, therefore he is responsible for that. Sun is not responsible for a murder that takes place or a donation or charity work somebody does. Is the sunlight responsible for that? No. In the sunlight, somebody is looting. In the sunlight, somebody is doing something good. Sunlight is not responsible for that. In the same way, even in a sinner or in a saint, the same Paramatman is present, in whose presence, according to the peculiarity and impurities and purities of the mind, so will be the action undertaken by the person. He is not responsible. Naiva kinchit karomi. I don't do any of those. Na karma pale asakti. Namam karmani limpanti. Name karma pale spruha. Idimam yo vijanati. Karmabir nasabadyate. Even as he engages, he will not be bound. One who knows that I have no kartrutva or karma phalasakti. So, here it is said, prerita eva. That's why the eva is important. See, in Bible also, Adam and Eve. So, Atman eva. That eva is there. That's what makes the creation possible. Atman and Eva. So, that is called Adam and Eve. So, Atman is there and the Eva is also there. The Eva is the one who is that?
What is Eva? Sorry.
Eva means as though.
As though.
As though, as if. So, here, now quoting the Upanishad, he says, Keneshitam padati preshitam manaha kena prana pradama prediyuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadanti chakshusutram kaudevo yanati iti pushtva. For the question that is raised in Kena Upanishad, Kena ishitam preshitam manaha patati. By whose direction the mind as though engages in perceiving and knowing the objects. Kena pranaha pratamaha preeti. Because of impelled by what, pushed by what, prana is going on. Energy breathing and breathing out. Kena ishitam imam vacham vadanti manushyaha. People, why? Forced by whom the people speak. Chakshuhu, Shrotram, etc. So answer that is given was Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Mano Yat Vacho Havacham Sabu Pranasya Pranaha Chakshusas Chakshuhu. Eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind. When it is said year of the year, does not mean another one is there. So this year is there and there is one more year is being this. No. What it means is that which makes the year is he. That which makes the eyes able to see is he. That which is making the nose to smell is he. Not another nose, inner nose, or inner ear, or inner eyes. No. Iti uttaritam artamaha yasya atmanaha sannidhi matrena, by whose presence abhimana rupa sambandha vashat, because of the abhimana rupa sambandha vashat, because of the abhimana, the identification that takes place, or the senses. See, it is like we should think about the layers of understanding. Now you see, there are objects, then there are senses, then there are antakaranas, mana, buddhi, ahankara, chittam, and then there is chidabhasa. Now, between the chidabhasa and mana, buddhi, there is one peculiar thing that comes, is called ahankara. It is a ghostly presence. This ahankar, deriving its presence energy from chidabhasa and making all of them identify with it. Meaning, it is that chidabhasa, as though, again, eva, identified with the senses, mind, intellect, etc., engages as an individual. So this ahankara, which is called ahambhava, here, abhimana rupa sambandha vashat. Abhimana means me. That a strange thing that takes place is what is known as I idea, notion. This I notion is what is known as ahankar. In one context, it itself is known as jiva. In another context, it is known as chitta, chitta or mind. This one is the one which is considered as the cause for individuality. It is like this. If I, let us say, I went to a shop and I saw this object, this silver tumbler or cup. I liked it, let us say. So I told the shopkeeper, so I will take this piece. There is only one piece available. So I take this nice piece. So as I have kept it there, and then I wanted to look for other things because this fellow has to weigh the, it's silver being, so it has to be weighed, and then actual present day cost of silver he has to find out. So he went to pick up the machine, weighing machine or whatever. At that time, another person comes and he looked at it. I like it, and he was about to I don't touch it. It's mine. I have not even bought. It is still with that guy only, with the shopkeeper only. Now, where is this I? You tell me. Where does this notion of I comes? This object, until I came into the shop, was not mine. The I idea was not there. Even as presently also, I don't own it, or I didn't even pay the money for it. But the thought has come, this is mine. No, you don't touch it. This is the only piece. I got it already. Where is this? That is what it's called. That is called abhimana bandha. Abhimana rupa sambandha vashat dehendriya manodiyaha atra deha shabdena vakpanipadadini karmendriyani grihyate indriya padena shotradini jnanendriyani mana antakaranam di kartru na buddhihi kartri buddhihi here swakiyeshu vishayeshu vachana dana gamanadishu shravana darshana sparsanadishu sankalpa vikalpanadishu laukika vaidika karyeshu cha prerita iva spashtam jadanam swataha vyapara abhavat. all of them engage in their own action because by themselves they cannot do it. Jadatvat, being jadam, swataha vyabhara abhavat. By themselves it cannot do. That is the reason why this inquiry into this I, when it will start or where it starts from. This is Ramana Maharshi's method of understanding. Because when you are in the state of sleep, deep sleep, it is as though absent. Because when this aham comes, immediately, everything seems to be individualized. Because when you wake up, morning and you wake up, until then it was absent. Suddenly, hunger comes, thirst comes, getting up, doing things, yesterday's things coming back to your memory, what is unfinished to be done, whatever needs to be, everything as though is alive, to be done, to be completed, to be experienced. When does it start? How does it start? In whose absence you are in bliss? In whose presence you are in blisters? Ahamina shabajaham taya spuradihrutsvayam paramapurnasat. Only that ego, when it is destroyed, in the very same place where the ego is destroyed, you see the resplendent, brilliant, blissful, joyful, unconditional presence. And in every transaction, it interferes. Every transaction. Everything that we do, aham is poking its nose. It's one thing which you cannot avoid, because that is what it strengthens your individuality. I am so and so. It demands respect. It demands, be heard. It demands attention. It demands name. It demands fame. It demands position. It demands everything. At the body, at the mind, every level it is operating. If somebody looks at you and ignores and walks away, feel hurt? Aham. If somebody comes and praises you, great. You feel exhilarated. Aham. Very interesting this. That is why it is said, because of whose presence, abhimana rupa sambandha vashat, that is what is creating the connection between jada and chetana. That's why Gurudev said, unholy wedlock. The holy is Atman and unholy Jadam, they as though got married. Whenever I see a marriage wedding thing, I get unholy wedlock getting connected now. Two egos are getting into one now. Bigger ego started. So that yasya sannidhi matrena dehendriya manodya visheshu sagyeshu vartante prerita iva. That prerita iva to be underlined, iva, because that is ahankar. The ahankar as though present, and because of whose presence as though Atman is impelling all of them to do the action. Not necessarily he, in whose presence there is the ghostly presence of the ego, and which connects everything. Samyoja cha avivekena janami iti pravartate in Atmabodha. Right? Atmana swachchitam shascha buddhehe vrittiriti dvayam samyojya cha avivekena janami iti pravartate. I know happens by the ego due to indiscrimination. So, ahankaradi dehantaha Vishayascha sukadayah Vedyante gatavatyena Nityabodhaswarupina Ahankaradidehantaha Vishayascha sukadayah Vedyante gatavatyena Nityabodhaswarupina Nityabodhaswarupina Vedyante. By that one which is always of the nature of awareness, they are all known. Gatavat, like a pot. Pot is here. Pot is known. Huh? Like a pot is known, it's jada, it is inert. In the same way, ahankaradidehantaha, ego onwards, the subtle most. That's why he said, even as body is the grossest, the ahankara is the subtle most. Because even buddhi cannot reach there. Buddhi cannot understand what this ahankara is. Because the moment it tries to know, it disappears. And appears again. That is a peculiar. Where are you? Where are you? No, you will not be able to find out. Okay, turn around, it will appear there. See, it is like our shadow, It is always behind us when the light is there. You turn around, where the light will, the shadow will go. If the turn around means along with the light, when you turn, what happens is the shadow will be always behind you. You'll never be able to see. So he cannot be known. So ahankaradidehantaha vishayascha, and also objects, sukha adayaha, also joy, etc. Yena vedyante, by whom it is known, nitya bodha swarupina, by whom it is known, I am Atma, it understood. That is what is called Atman. How do they know? How does it know? Gatavat. Why that it's important to explain it as like a Gatavat as a part. So you'll see, Drishyasya drishtu dharmatva abhavat. First thing. That which is known or seen does not have ability to see. Drishyasya drishtutva drishtudharmatva abhavat. Now, let us say that I am seeing this book. It cannot see me. Can it? No. So I am looking at the chair. Chair I can see. Chair cannot see me. I understand because it is jadam. Okay. But you see me. But I also see you. I cannot call you jadam, but anyway. But you are jadam only. Oh my God, Swamiji, this is bad. Now see, what am I seeing? Your body. Is body Chaitanam or jadam? I can only see your body. You can only see my body only. This body cannot see you. Can the body see? So your physical body, which I'm seeing, is also jadam as much as a table, chair, anything else also. So drishyasya drishtu dharma abhavat. Therefore, it is called Gatavat, where the inert is known only by that which is sentient. Inert cannot know its own presence, nor it knows any other presence. Body by itself does not know its own existence. So anything that is called jada does not know its own existence, much less it can know itself and others. Whereas Chaitanyam is that which not only it knows its own existence, but it knows everything else also. So that is referred as drishta, Chetanameva drishta, jadaha drishyameva. Seen is always Jadam, seer is always Chaitanya. So, Drishyasya drashtu dharmatva abhavat ahankaradi dehantaha panchakoshaha vishayaha shabdadeha sukhadeha tat prayojyasyascha nityabodha swarupina swadasiddha jnana swarupena yena gata iva vedyanti jnayante. So only that Chaitanya can know, Drishta can know the existence of all that is Drishyam, what can be seen. Like that of the part. Sa Atma iti Anvaya. That is Drishta Atma. Nityabodha Swarupin Atma. So, ahankaradi dehantanam panchanam koshanam vedyatva kadanena sutrasthaniya pradama shloka uktam panchakosha vilakshanatvam sangrahena katitam. So that is said, panchakosha atitaha, that is spoken here as that which is, briefly, that is what is given here. Idam uttaratra spashtam svashtaishyade Deha eha ayam anna bhavana ityadina. Body is only nothing but the food, the abode of food. Now that is going to be said here. How? Eshontaratma purusha purana nirantara kanta sukhanubhutihi Sateka rupa pradibodha matraha Yeneshita vagasavascharanti Yeshontaratma purusha purana Nirantara kanta sukhanubhutihi Sateka rupa pradibodha matraha Yeneshita vagasavascharanti. Antaratma yeshaha purushaha purana. It is ancient. Why ancient? Ajataha eva. Anadi eva saha. It is ancient because it is no time of its origin. It is very, unintelligent to say God has a beginning. And the other day also I was telling him this, in Ramayana class only, I think. In Ramayana class. No, Gita class. Yeah. Bhagavan Krishna says, Tahamasya jagataha mata tata pitamaha vedyam pavitram omkraraha briksama ijurevacha. So I am the father, mother, grandfather of this world. So it is said Bhagavan Shiva and Parvati getting married. So the priest asked Bhagavan Shiva, who is your father? Brahma. Oh, grandfather? Vishnu. Oh, great grandfather? Me. What can you do? What can you do with it? So who are you then? Can it be possible? But, Bhagavan Sadashiva, so obviously he is the origin. Origin means he has no origin. Anywhere you go, he said that I am the one there. Jagataha Pita. So when he said that Antaratma Purusha Purana, Purana means Purapi Navayati. Always it is present, new. Purapi, even in the past. Nirantara Akanta Sukhanubhutihi, of the nature of Sukhanubhutihi. Bliss, always, unconditioned, Akanda. Sada Eka Rupa, always of the one nature, meaning there is no change in him. Pradibodha Matraha, the nature of full awareness. Yena ishita, because of whose impelling power, vak asavaha charanti. Speech and pranas. Asu means prana. Asavaha, plural. So, yena ishita sannidhi matrena preritaha vak asavascha vagasavaha idam sarvasya karya karana sangadasya upalakshanam. All of them are included here. Vak asavaha idi binnam va padam. So, vak, the speech, and asavaha. Vagindriyan pranaha charanti. Sabda ucharana ushvasa nishvasadini karmani swakiyani kurvanti. Interesting point is, if you close your nose, you can't speak. Right. Completely close. Speak. I mean, you're speaking through the nose then. So unless the air goes, speech cannot happen. So that's why put together it is put. Vagasavaha. Vakcha asavascha. But it is as such, they are connected. That's why it's put together. Yeshaha antaratma lokasiddhanam shrutyavi parma pradivatti hedutvena annamayadi anandamayantanam koshanam kalpitanam bahyanam kalpana adhishtanatvena sarvanugatatya. So we'll that the point there. Here niravatikam. Akandam means what? Niramdara akanda sukhanubhuti nirantaram niravadikam ata eva akandam aparichinnam yitsukam anandam. Yacha nirantara akanda cha anubhuti. By the nature of itself is filled with bliss which is undivided or unconditioned, unimpeded. Yes, sakshat aparokshat brahma, because it being aparoksha. Now, what ananda that we get is out of paroksha ananda only. Paroksha ananda means it is something which is of the external nature. But here, aparokshatvat akanda ananda. And then it is said, sada ekarubaha pradibodha matra. The word pradibodha is usually translated as, and Gurudev also translate that as, of the nature of ancient Buddha, whose essential nature is constant experience of bliss, which is ever the same, yet constantly gets reflected through different mental modifications. And commanded by it, the sense organs and the pranas perform their functions. It is in the form of constant reflection or awareness. But here, they beautifully, he gives explanation on that. What is pradibodha? Pradibodha matra word is used. He says, bodhe bodhe pradibodham miyate iti matra. Sakala buddhi vrittishu anugatataya kashtadishu agni iva jnata ityartha. Every thought must have an accompanying awareness, without which the thought cannot be known. That is why it said in Kenopanishad, Pradibodha viditam madam amritasya amrita pradibodha vidam vidam pradibodha viditam madam. Every thought, through every thought you can know the awareness. Amritatvam hi vindate. Amritatvam hi vindate is known or discovered. What? Amritatvam of what? Of awareness. Why? Because every thought must have the subject matter I. Without that, there is no thought. In our usual transaction, every thought, we look at the object of the thought too seriously and we deny and ignore the subject. That's where Ramana Maharshi would say, if I am happy, who? Not why are you happy, what are you happy about, when are you happy, nothing. Who? I. Who are you? Who is that who says I am happy? So I am happy when you say, is it the mind happy? Or is the thought that is happy? So the happiness is a state of your mind, no doubt. And that happiness belong to whom? Mind. Mind belong to whom? Mind is what? Thought. Thought emanates from what? I. So I. That I is the center point here. In every thought, you are angry or happy, go back to the source again. Then you realize there is a constantness of that. Angry, hungry, happy, unhappy, upset, jealous, greed, everything goes on continuously in our daily life as thoughts. Constant presence is the I, which is not participating in what kind of thought it is. Therefore, Upanishad says, Pradibodha viditam. Bodham, bodham, pradividitam. And the example what is given is, every wood has got fire. Isn't it? Kashteshu agnivat. Can you see it? Can you see the fire inside the wood? But you know it. Put the fire, then you will know it. It will start expressing itself, right? And when it starts expressing itself, when you put the fire in a wood means which is dry wood, obviously. When you bring a fire into that wood, what happens then? Fire alone is, where is wood afterwards? It would have been there. That would have been there, the wood is gone. What remains? Fire. Why? Because fire itself is the wood actually. Without the fire, there cannot be wood. But fire can remain without the wood. The wood is a abode of the fire, unseen. But the moment the fire comes in, that's why Guru is called a person who brings that fire of knowledge closer to the wood. And that's enough. If the wood is really dry, it will pick up. That's called Vairagya. If the wood is not having Vairagya, it is soaked in water. Nothing happens. Pashyannapi vinas pashyati muda. So that is why it said, Kashtadi Agni Vat Agniriva Nyataha ityarthaha Pradibodha viditam madam iti shrutehe Jnana Swarupatvam Nirantara Akanda Sukhanubhuti iti atruktam Guru Upadesha Janya Bodhaha va Pradibodhaha. The another meaning for Pradibodha Matra is that which is born out of the knowledge gained by the listening to the teaching of the teacher. Tatra Vishayaha ityarthaha. Pradibodha Matra means Guru Upadesha Janita Jnana Matra. So, in that way also you can take that word. Guruna Pradibodhita iti prasiddhehe, because it is definitely due to the knowledge imparted by this Guru. Then third meaning is Sutta Pradibuddha iti prasiddhehe avidya swapanashakaha mahavakyajanya akhandakara vritti rupa bodhaha pradibodhaha iti tatra vishayaha iti va-arthaha. So like what we saw in the Dakshinamurti Stotram, es sakshat kurude prabodha samaye. At the time when a person become awakened to the higher reality, just like a person who is sleeping wakes up. And there, Manasolasa goes in detail about how do you wake up. In the next class, we'll see. How do you wake up? So there he explains, waking up is not a joke. Waking up is there. In the case of the sleep, you wake up suddenly, right? Maybe there is an external factor is there, but not every day you need to put an alarm to wake up. You wake up. That is not the way you wake up from this sleep. Anyway, we'll see at that point here. But here, Supta Pradibuddha iti prasiddhehe, a sleeping person wakes up. Avidya swapa nashakah. That which ends the sleep called avidya. The next verse you'll say anadi. No, in that in the Ullas I will say anadi supta. Mayaya anadi supta. One who is sleeping due to Maya for a long time. No, here the sleeping, waking up is what? Mahavakya janya akandakara vrittihi rupa bodha. So here the waking up means the akanda akara vritti, which is born out of Mahavakya janya, born out of the understanding of Mahavakya. That is called pratibodha mantra. So three meanings gave here. Pratibodha is bodham bodham badi prati ettichati, which is available in every thought. The second meaning is the one which is born out of the true knowledge of the teaching gained by the listening to the student teacher. Third one is waking up from the ajnana. So in that way, pratibodhamatraha yena ishita, by whom it is being impelled, vak asavascharanti, speech and prana, etc. Move about. So we'll see there more of what is Atman in some more verses, and then he will start on. Next topic is what sadhana to be done to recognize Atman. Then the first question. What is the question? Ko nama bandha. What is then the bondage? That will start from 130, 137 onward. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti 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 harihi om.